Hello everyone, we are from class 2 semester 2 English education at the University of Islam Nusantara. Here we will explain the material about the Gagnian bricks model. Please follow us. Okay, first of all, the Honorable Lecturer, Master of Education, Miss Eka Alia Nurmala, and all the viewers who watch this video, the Gagne and Briggs model. Okay, let's introduce first who is members in this group. Okay, the first, there is Nadira Gifari. Hi Nadira.
Hello guys.
Next, there is Nuraini Sifarahayu, or we usually call it Sipa. Hi Sipa.
Hello everyone.
Next, there is Nova Ramadanti. Hi Nova.
Hello everyone.
There is Salma Ratnadianti. Hi Salma.
Hello everyone.
And next, there is Sepia Humaira. Say hi to everyone, Sepia.
Hello everyone.
And the last member, who is the most handsome in our group? Of course, there is Yusuf. Hi Yusuf.
Hello everyone.
Okay, let's go straight to the first material. What is Gagne and Briggs model that will be delivered by Nadira? Check it out.
Thank you, Nesiza. Okay guys, the Gagne-Briggs model is a prescriptive model that describes not only how to create instruction for all domains of learning, but how to determine the content. There is general agreement in the literature, C. Smith and Regan 2000, that Gagne and Briggs generated the first prescriptive model of the instructional design. It centers around three basic questions to be answered. The first is, what is known about human learning and what is relevant for instructional design? The second is this knowledge about human learning applicable on the concrete execution of learning? And the last is, which methods and procedures can be applied in order to use effectively the knowledge about human learning for the design of instruction? Next, the Gagne-Briggs model describes how teaching should be generated to adjust to the basic forms of learning as well as to the contents to be taught. This model attributes the 9 instructional events of Gagne to 3 phases. 1 is preparation of learning, number 2 is acquisition and performance, and the last is transfer of learning. The model can be illustrated as a closed circuit depicting an interactive process of design, trial and error, and revision. Jadi model ini menggambarkan bagaimana pengajaran harus dihasilkan untuk menyesuaikan dengan bentuk dasar pembelajaran serta dengan isi yang akan diajarkan. That's enough from me. I will return to moderator.
Wow, that was really very clear. Thank you, Nadira. Okay, next, there is material about the characteristic of the Gagne-Briggs model that will be presented by Nova. And for Nova, the screen and time I indeed.
Thanks to Nesija. So now I will explain about characteristic of the Gagne-Briggs model. So the Gagne-Briggs model is a prescriptive model that describes how to create instruction for all domains of learning. It distinguishes between 5 basic forms. Number 1 is intellectual skill, with performance using concepts and rules to solve problems, responding to the classes of stimuli as distinct from recalling specific examples. Number 2 is motor skill, with performance executing body movement smoothly and in proper sequence. Number 3 is verbal information, with performance stating information. Number 4 is cognitive strategy, with performers organizing novel solution to problems, utilizing various means for controlling one's thinking or learning process. And the last is attitude, with performance, choosing to behave in a particular way. So, jadi pada model Gagne-Briggs ini terdapat 5 karakteristik kemampuan yang dipelajari, yaitu ada kemampuan intelektual, motorik, informasi lisan, strategi kognitif, dan sikap. I think that's enough for my explanation. I return to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, wow, that was really nice explanation. Thank you, Nova. Okay, move to the next slide. There are principle, condition of learning, role of facilitator, and many more. Next slide will be explained by Sipa. And for Sipa, your time.
Okay, thanks to the I will explain about principle. The first, different conditions are required for different learning outcomes. Second, for learning to occur, specific condition must be specific operation required for learning differ based on outcomes. Jadi prinsipnya ada 3. Yang pertama, kondisi yang berbeda diperlukan untuk hasil belajar yang berbeda. Yang kedua, agar pembelajaran terjadi, kondisi tertentu harus dipenuhi. Yang ketiga, operasi khusus yang diperlukan untuk belajar berdasarkan hasil. Next, condition of learning. Internal condition, the learner must have the prerequisite knowledge to learn new material. Regularly, this requires the ability to recall relate information from memory. External condition is among situational constraints, especially instructional method, are considered as important external condition. Selanjutnya kondisi belajar. Ada kondisi internal, yaitu pembelajar harus memiliki pengetahuan prasyarat untuk mempelajari materi baru. Secara teratur, membutuhkan kemampuan untuk mengingat informasi terkait memori. Kondisi eksternal, yaitu di antara kendala situasional, terutama metode pembelajaran dianggap sebagai kondisi eksternal yang terpenting. Next, role of facilitator or teacher. Controlling the 9 external events of learning as well as selecting the contents and outcomes based on learning hierarchies. Peran fasilitator atau guru mengontrol 9 peristiwa eksternal pembelajaran serta memilih isi dan hasil berdasarkan tingkat pembelajaran. Next, instructional strategies focus on objectives is determine the required learning outcomes for the learner, determine which type of learning outcome is required. Sequencing is starting with the final objective in order to create learning hierarchies. Learning hierarchies are contents map that describe the prerequisite required for reaching the terminal objectives. Creating the external event of learning, each type of learning outcome requires a different type of process for each event. Selanjutnya, strategi instruksional berfokus pada tujuan yang menentukan hasil pembelajaran yang diperlukan bagi pelajar. Tentukan jenis hasil belajar apa yang dibutuhkan. Kemudian urutan yang dimulai dengan tujuan akhir untuk membuat tingkatan pelajar. Tingkatan pembelajaran adalah peta konten yang digambarkan prasyarat yang diperlukan untuk mencapai tujuan akhir. Menciptakan peristiwa eksternal pembelajaran yang berbeda untuk setiap peristiwanya. The last, assessment method. The assessment of learning is based on the learner demonstrating that they can complete the learning task in accordance with the objectives. Yang terakhir, metode penilaian. Penilaian pembelajaran pada siswa yang menunjukkan bahwa mereka dapat menyelesaikan tugas-tugas pembelajaran dengan tujuan yang ingin mereka capai. I think enough for me. I will return to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thank you, Nuraini Siparahayu. That was very clear and good job. And the next matter is there are 3 pages of the Gagny's 9 events of interaction that will be delivered by Salma. And for Salma, screen and times are in P.
Thanks to moderator. Now, I will explain about 3 phases of Gagny's 9 event of instruction. First, preparation of learning atau persiapan belajar, which is divided into 3 parts. The first, gaining attention. Second, informing learners of the objective. The third, stimulating recall of prior learning. The second is acquisition and performance, atau disebut juga akuisisi dan kinerja, which is divided into 3 parts as well. The first, presenting the stimulus. The second is providing learning guidance. And the third, eliciting performance. The last one is transfer of learning, which is divided into 3 parts as well. The first is enhancing retention and transfer. The second, assessing performance. And the last is providing feedback. I think that's all for me. I return to moderator.
Okay, that was so fantastic. Thank you for your explanation, Salma. Okay, the next slide, there is a table list the 9 instructional events and provides definition that will be explained by Sepia. And for Sepia, take your time.
Okay, thank you to the moderator. In here, I will explain about the following table list, the 9 instructional event, and provide definition for each. The first one, gaining attention or menarik perhatian. With definition, an initial text in any instruction is to gain the learner's attention so that other instructional events can occur properly. The second, informing the learner of the objective. With definition, the purpose of communicating the objective to the learner is to enable the person to answer the question, how will I know when I have learned it? The third, stimulating the recall of prerequisite learning. With definition, is a condition of learning, essential capabilities must be available for recall before new learning can occur. Sometimes, the instructor reminder might be enough, otherwise formal review might be required. Number 4, presenting the stimulus material. The rank of stimulus materials is varied as the rank of instructional objectives vary. Stimulus material may be in the form of questioning, goal-based inquiry, or motivation. Number 5, providing learner guidance. The function of learning guidance is to help the learner acquire the particular capabilities specified in the objective. For example, in teaching a concept, the learning guidance would ensure that the learner understood the critical attributes of the concept. In teaching, the procedure to follow for diagnosing trouble in a piece of manufacturing equipment. For example, the learning guidance might be in the form of a checklist to teach the steps to follow. Next slide. Number 6, eliciting the performance. With definition, asking the learner to perform an overt action like answering a question verbally or doing an act. Number 7, providing feedback about performance correctness. With definition, this crucial instructional event should be informative and specific and friendly. And number 8, assessing the performance. With definition, this event is to determine if the learner obtained the objective and can consistently perform what was intended. And the last one, enhancing the retention and transfer. With definition, we cannot assume as instructional designer that learner will be able to transfer learning from one situation to another. From intellectual skills, providing space reviews help. For verbal information, providing the linkage between information learned at different times is recommended. Jadi dalam peristiwa instruksional itu terdapat 9 peristiwa. Yang pertama itu menarik perhatian, yang kedua menginformasikan pelajar tentang tujuan, yang ketiga merangsang pengingat pembelajaran prasyarat, yang keempat menyajikan materi stimulus, yang kelima memberikan bimbingan belajar, yang keenam membangkitkan kinerja, yang ketujuh memberikan umpan balik tentang kebenaran kinerja, yang kedelapan menilai kinerja tersebut, dan yang terakhir meningkatkan retensi dan transfer. Maybe that's all for me. I will return from the moderator.
Okay, wow, it's very clear, right? Thank you, Septia. And the next will be 9 events of interaction and consistent instructional action that will be delivered again by Nova. And Nova, time is yours.
Okay, thanks to Nesija. So in this time, I will give you some information about 9 events of instruction and consistent instructional action by Gagne et al. 2005. So here there is 9 instructional events. Number 1 is gain attention with action, introduce stimulus to elicit curiosity. Number 2 is inform learner of the objectives. With action, describe the expected performance. Number 3 is stimulate prerequisite recall. With action, recall of concept and rules. Number 4 is person learning material. With action, person examples of the concept or rules. Number 5 is provide guidance for learning. With action, use verbal cues, illustration, etc. Yes. And number 6, there is elicit performance. With action, let the learner apply the concept or rule. And number 7 is provide feedback. With action, confirm correctness of performance. Number 8 is assess performance. With action, test the application of the concept or rule. And the last is enhance retention and transfer. With action, provide a variety of other application. I think that's it. I return to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, wow, that was so great explanation, Nova. Thank you. And the last material there is the instructional events and the corresponding condition of learning of each 5 types of learning capabilities, which will be delivered by the handsome one in here. Of course, Yusuf. So Yusuf, get the time.
Thank you to moderator. And in this slide, we will talking about the tabling everything in this section, the instructional event and the corresponding condition of learning for each of the 5 type of learning capabilities are outlined. Jadi di sini adalah ke-9 dari poin yang sebelumnya dan juga 5 type of capability di awal slide yang tadi dijelaskan. Jadi yang pertama, number 1, gaining attention. The intellectual skill is introduce stimulus change, and it stands for cognitive strategy, information, attitude, and exchange for a motor skill. And number 2, informing learner of objective. In intellectual skill, provide description and example of the performance to be expected. In cognitive strategy, clarify the general nature of the solution expected. In information, indicate the kind of verbal question to be answered. And in attitude, provide example of the kind of action choice aimed for. In motor skill, provide a demonstration of the performance to be expected. Number 3, stimulating recall of prerequisites. In intellectual skill, stimulate recall of subordinate concept and rules. In cognitive strategy, stimulate recall of task strategies and associated intellectual skill. In information, stimulate recall of context of organized information. In attitude, stimulate recall of relevant information, skills, and human model identification. In motor skills, stimulate recall of executive, subroutine, and part skill. Next. Number 4, presenting the stimulus material. In intellectual skill, present example of the concept of rule. In cognitive strategy, present novel problems. In information, present information in proportional form. In attitude, present human model demonstrating choice of personal action. In motor skill, provide external stimuli for performance, including tools or implements. Number 5, provide learning guidance. In intellectual skill, provide verbal cues to proper combining sequence. In cognitive strategy, provide prompt and hint to novel solution. In information, provide verbal links to a larger meaningful context. In attitude, provide for observation of model choice of action and offer information received by model. In motor skill, provide practice with feedback of performance achievement. Number 6, eliciting the performance. In intellectual skill, ask learner to apply rule or concept to the new examples. In cognitive strategy, ask for problem solution. In information, ask for information in paraphrase or in learner is on board. In attitude, ask for learner to indicate choice of action in real or stimulate situation. In motor skill, ask for execution of the performance. And that is for me. I will give it back to the moderator.
Okay, wow, that was so excellent. Thank you very much for your explanation, Yusuf. And who will continue the material previously explained by Yusuf? We will call Salma. Hello, Salma. Get the time.
Thanks to moderator. Now I will continue the explanation from Yusuf. The 7 is providing feedback. In intellectual skill, confirm correctness of rule or concept application. In cognitive strategy, originality of problem solution. Confirm correctness of statement or information. And in attitude, provide direct of or vicarious reinforcement of action choice. In motor skills, provide feedback on degree of accuracy and timing of performance. And A, assessing performance. In intellectual skill, learner demonstrate application of concept or rule. In cognitive strategy, learner originates a novel solution. In information, learner restate information in paraphrase form. In attitude, learner makes decide choice of personal action in real or simulate situation. In motor skill, learner execute performance of total skill. And the last one is enhancing retention and transfer. In intellectual skill, provide space review including a variety of examples. In cognitive strategy, provide occasion for a variety of novel problem solution. In information, provide verbal link to additional complex of information. And in attitude, provide additional varied situation for selected choice of action. And the last one, in motor skill, learner continue skill practice. I think that's enough from me. I will return to moderator.
Okay, wow, that was a really nice and clear explanation. Thank you. Okay, we finally arrived at the end of the presentation. This time there is a conclusion. So the conclusion is the Gagné-Briggs model is prescriptive model that describes not only how to create instruction for all domains of learning, but how to determine the content. So there is general agreement in the literature, so that Gagné and Briggs generate the first prescriptive models of instructional design, and adjusting to the Gagné and Briggs 9-step model has been considered as an excellent way to ensure effective and systematic instruction, as it gives structure to the lessons plan and a holistic view to the teaching. And the Gagné-Briggs model grounds on both learning, psychology, and system theory. Thus, it takes a closed circuit of planning steps as a basis that must be iterated as long as the objectives of planning are reached. So, okay, guys, in advance, thank you to all of the members who have tried their best to explain this material. You are all great, and I say a lot of thanks. And for the viewers who have watched this video, I say thank you very much, guys, and hopefully this presentation at least will provide knowledge and the less, because we are still struggling in this coronavirus outbreak. I hope you guys continue to take care of your health, keep wearing masks when you leave the house, and always follow health protocols, and keep healthy, everyone, because healthy is expensive. So, warm greetings from Group 2 so much, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.